Okay, let's make a dice roll simulator. Again, the purpose of this video is to review a bit of CS10 stuff to make sure we'll get back into programming again with JavaScript. And also, the simulator can be a good example of how functions can help us reuse code. Right, the idea of modularity and reuse is an important benefit of functions. So I'm got my F-Drive CS20 folder, my name, functions, course activities. I have a template, but I'm not going to use it. I want to go from scratch. So I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this dice roll sim. Okay, I'm going to open this with code. So this is my project folder. All right, in my project folder, JavaScript runs inside of the web browser, so I need a web page, index.html. And the basic structure is this doc type, HTML. We do an HTML start and end tag. We do a head, and one body, like so. Often inside of the head, we can have a title, Dice Roll Simulator, and I'm going to copy and paste that because in my body, I'm going to have an H1 that will say, oops, why did I go there? H1 right here, Dice Roll Simulator. Okay, we might need some styles as well. If I go type link and hit tab, it does that for me, link rel style sheet. We'll have a file called style.css. All right, let's set that up. So new file, style.css. And let's just really simple right now, just go body, text align, center. Beautiful. All right, let's just run this. How do I go live? Where's my go live? Sometimes go live doesn't show up for some reason, but if I right click, open with live server, wonderful. Dice Roll Simulator, centered. So my style sheet is working. Okay, let's also add a JavaScript. So I'd like to load an external JavaScript file, right? We need a script tag. We can type stuff inside of here. I can say alert hi. And here it goes, it alerts hi, so the JavaScript is working. But I don't want to write my JavaScript inside of my HTML document. I want to have an external file. Let's call it main.js. So we need to make that file main.js. And just to make sure this is working, we'll alert hi again. Save, yep, it still loads, right? Refresh, there it is. Okay, good. All right, so let's set up our HTML for this dice roll simulator. I'm just going to keep this really basic. Let's just have a paragraph to store our totals. Yeah, so number 1, and then I'll just do a span tag with the ID total 1. Sure, and right now it'll start at 0. And then, you know what, let's copy and paste this. And I can just replace, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, beautiful. And let's just 1, 2, 3, maybe at this one here I can hit enter. Okay, so change this to number 2, and we'll call that total 2, and 3, and 3, etc. 4. Very tedious and exciting. Whoa, missed one. 6 and 6. Okay, so that's just going to be along the top. Let's take a quick peek at it. Why not? Oh, why is it still saying alert? I thought I didn't save this. Save. Okay, so there's my beautiful totals. It'll work. Okay. Remember, actually, when you guys are programming too, function over form. Form over function, function over form is more important that your program works than that it looks pretty. It's nice if it looks good, but make sure it works first. Okay, so then let's just have another paragraph with some dashes in it, because this will just simply be my ID roll result. So this is where I'll display the current roll, hey, what happened? And actually, maybe I should have another paragraph that has a button inside of it called roll button. And it'll say roll, roll the dice, roll the die. Let's just say roll. Dice is plural, die is single. We're just going to do one die, one die, one dice, one die. Okay, button, roll. All right, let's see what that looks like. And everything should be centered. Beautiful. When I hit this, the number will show up here. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Roll result. To roll result selects the class. Is that actually what I called it? Yes, it is. And let's just go font size bigger. I don't know, 60 pixels. Oh, how come it? F12, tell me console. Well, CSS shouldn't give me errors. What did I do? Index.html. Oh, it's an ID. I gave it the ID roll result, and in here I'm selecting the class roll result. Hashtag for ID. Save. There it is. Now it's bigger font. Sure. All right. Okay. Let's do our JavaScript now. Give it a title, Dice Roll Simulator. And what do I want to do? I want to add an event listener. Add event listener to the button. That's all I'll need for now. Let's just do a generic title though. So document.get element by ID, roll button. Oops, roll button. I think that's what I called it. .add event listener. We're going to listen for the click event, and then I'll say roll die. Will be the name of the function. Here's my event function called roll die. This should all be hopefully familiar to you. And what do I want to do in here? I want to roll the die. So I need to get, let's do some comments. I need to get a random roll number. I need to update totals and the blah, 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 and the roll result. I think that's it. Okay, so let's get a random roll number. How do I do that? Let roll num be assigned. Okay, so this is all this random stuff, math.random stuff. If I go to ainley.ca/mrvelcap, I've actually kind of organized this stuff, this website here. It'll probably change in the future, but for now, this is what it looks like. And if we go to the intro to programming and to the summary, there should be something here on random numbers. And if I open random numbers, there's a bit of a math object. Math.random gives me a decimal between 0 and 1. If I times that by 10, it goes from 0 to 10. If I add math.floor, that'll give me an integer, and then I can add things to it. So I want something like this, but I think I want to times it by 6 or 7. We'll have to think about that. So math.random times something, floor it, add 1. Because I want, for my random roll number, I want 1 to 6, inclusive. All right, so math.random, if I times that by 6, that'll get me the decimals between 0 and up to 6, but not including 6. Then if I floor this, that should give me the integers 0, right? Because this is 0 up to 6, so floor rounds down all the time. So this will give me 0 to 5. And then I just need to add 1. This makes sense. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I add 1, it'll get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's just do a quick little console.log roll num just to test this quickly. It's a good idea to do, I like to call this incremental programming. Let me write that out. Incremental programming, which basically means, you know, add a little bit of functionality, test it. Add a little bit more functionality, test it. If you try to write too much code at once, sometimes you'll be like, something doesn't work, and then it's harder to find where the mistake is. Whereas if you add a little bit and make sure it's working, then if there was a problem, you know, oh, the problem's with this. Okay, I can shut this down now. If I hit roll, I am getting decimals, and it looks like they are all between, not getting anything beyond 1 and 6. Sweet! Okay, so really easy is instead of logging to the console, I can simply go document.get element by ID role results, and set its inner HTML to be assigned role num. Right, that's updating the role result. Ba-ba-da-da. There it is. There's my random number. If I was really fancy, I should have images here of a die with numbers on it, but I'll let you do that if you want to. We're just going to display the numbers for now. So fun. Okay, now we need to update these totals. So for updating the totals, I think we need an if statement for this. If roll num is equal to 1, then I need variables. Okay, let's have some global variables. Let's total 1 be assigned 0, total 2 be assigned 0, let total 3 be assigned 0. I bet you I could copy and paste. Oops. Did too many, I think. Nope. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so these are just 6 variables to keep track of how many for each one. If roll num was equal to 1, then I would like to go total 1 plus plus, right? That's the same as going total 1 is assigned total 1 plus 1. Right, I want to take what's currently the current value of total 1, which is 0, and add 1 to it, and then save it. But we can do that much quicker by just going plus plus. And then let's go get element by ID. I think I called it the same thing, total 1. That should be fine. The ID is total 1 and the variable is total 1. That's okay. And what I want to do with it, set its inner HTML to be total 1. Okay, else if. I'm going to do a chained selection statement here, right, with else if, else if, else if. Because roll num, I just want to select one of the paths. It's either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So else if roll num equals 2, then total 2 plus plus, and document dot get element by ID total 2. And HTML is assigned total 2. Okay, and I'm hoping that if I did everything correctly, I can copy and paste. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3, total 3, total 3, total 3. Beautiful. Okay, and we'll do the same thing for 4, and 5, and 6. Okay, let's see if that works. I hit roll, I got a 5, and 5 increased by 1. Beautiful. I hit 6, 6 increased by 1, 2, 6 again. Awesome. Looks like I'm getting tallies here. Okay, cool. And that's really hard to read. Maybe I should add some sort of like a vertical line between these things to at least help a little bit. Something like that, just to separate them a little bit more. I guess I could put a ooh, I could have done like a border or something. That helps a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, you know what? I'm gonna stop the video there. We'll continue on and talk more about this. This wasn't so much about functions. This is more review, right? We need our HTML. We can do our style sheet and our main.js, setting up the paragraphs and spans and IDs. In our main.js, right? The idea of the event listeners and event functions, global variables. We can update those variables, selecting elements in order to change their content. Using random to generate a random number. Just kind of a review from some of the grade 10 stuff. In the next video, we'll talk more about how we can invoke this function in different ways, and we'll see how it can make it more efficient. All right, hope that made sense so far. We'll see you in the next video where we'll finish this off. All right, take care.